Hello, Conquerors! I'm your host and humble guide maker, the Purple Bull Moose. Welcome back to the channel where we cover all things Old World. I'll be doing my best to give you all the tools necessary to take on the best 4X strategy game of the last decade at its highest difficulty. Please help us support the channel so we can spread the good word about this criminally underrated game. You have all boosted me over 1,000 subscribers, but we are not stopping here. If you can keep supporting the channel, I will do my best to recruit as many new players to the game to ensure Old World's continued success, so we can all selfishly pressure Mohawk and Hooded Horse to keep up their caretaking of the game and one day produce a sequel. But without further delay, let's get into it. Well, guys, welcome back. I am taking a look at my YouTube Studio app, and as of Wednesday, March 12th, we are closing in on nearly 1,100 subscribers. I really underestimated how quickly this channel was going to take off, and that is thanks to all of you. So obviously, I can't go nearly far enough to express my gratitude for the support that I've seen, not just from the community, not just from the Reddit, but from the team over at Hooded Horse and Mohawk, who have really gone above and beyond to help out what is, quite frankly, a channel in its infancy. The team that has developed this game, guys, if you aren't already aware, if you're not on the Discord, if you're not on the subreddit, first off, come and join us. But the dev team has been so amazing. Responsive to questions, quick to feedback, constantly taking notes from the community and then adopting them into the game. And it is so nice to be part of such a wonderfully non-toxic corner of the internet. So again, thank you to everybody. We're not going to stop here. Obviously, I'm going to keep going, and there's a lot more content to be coming out. The things I want to be doing especially is converting. If you haven't already read them, go out and check out those giant walls of text. But all the guides that I've written over on the subreddit into educational videos, because I feel like that is going to be the best way to explain the ins and outs of this game that we have all come to love to the new player base. So once this playthrough is done, I apologize if you see a little bit of a hiatus on the curation of new playthroughs, but the content is still going to be coming. There are too many names to mention, between everybody who feeds the algorithm over in the comments section to the other Redditors that have reached out to me to help me with curating and editing content, to helping me with polishing the audio, hopefully that is soon to come, and just getting me involved in various social media and tip-based stuff that will probably get posted, all of which I am deeply uncomfortable with. And it is nice that I will be able to rely on this network and this community, and in the meantime, just produce you guys content. But enough of me yammering on. Let's go and get back into where we left off. The ambitions that we set out for ourselves is to, well, finish out our ambitions, to switch over from our culture grinding of specialists to an officer spam. We want to make sure that we're getting our training up, create the wrecking balls necessary to initiate endgame warfare that I am so excited to administer. Get our culture up on the front line so we can again get that wrecking ball going. And tutor the Duchess in war. Our unfortunately crippled son, our bastard son, who has a bastard of his own, which I have a note here. We got to make sure that we legitimize that grandbaby so we have yet another person to throw into tactics school. But to throw the Duchess into tactics school as well, we are very short on general supplies. So we want to make sure that we're boosting that where we can. And lastly, consider a timing rush with our Shoteli, which frankly should probably read, resist the urge to commit a timing rest with our Shoteli so we can actually show an end game grind out between us and whoever's the biggest dog in the yard. And quite frankly, guys, if you've watched the first two playthroughs, I've had a very easy time with finishing out my end games. In the Babylon playthrough, I think it was Assyria got blocked in by the Kush, and that generated some friction on the other nation that would have otherwise snowballed, and really gave me an ability to end the game peacefully. On the Assyria playthrough, everyone picked their battle buddy and ground the other person into the dirt, which opened up the opportunity for us to sweep Carthage and invade into Egypt. So I'm hoping for an endgame boss here in Aksum to, well, and frankly, show off a little bit. But let's go ahead and get back into the game and see if we can pull that off for you. Let's get into it. Okay, where do we leave off? 6 turns left into scholarship. Our civics is actually doing a pretty solid level of production, despite all of our major cities otherwise committed to civics production. That's nice to see. How are the kids? Not quite able to be in school yet, but soon. And Princess Zaba, not the worst. Decent relationship with him. We have him as a plus 80 despite being disappointed. I guess that's what you get for legitimizing somebody. But he did come out crippled, which is going to limit his fatigue limit as a general. But he is a commander. Now, if you're unaware, as a leader, a commander gives a plus 10 XP for idle units. So, frankly, if we are committed to going for an endgame war, then having a leader that's able to get our training up in one individual city to keep pumping out units, and then whatever units are pumped out can sit on barracks and ranges and our war shrines, which also, by the way, give an additional 10 XP per year. That's going to be 20 XP per year on a lot of units. So we can probably have a very high level of veterancy by that point. So we definitely want to abuse that. We've had a really good luck with all our leaders. Our founding leader carving our empire out with absolute ease. Our builder leader really taking advantage of all the buildings that we want to build in all of our cities. And we have truly ramped up. And that ramp is not done. When scholarship kicks off, you guys are going to see it kick off to another level. The scholarship rush, guys, if you haven't tried it out, you might want to. Persia is, again, Big Papa Persia. They are still backing us up, and they do still have their absolute unit of a queen. She has 8 courage. Oh my god. She's a 17 overall in stats. And on top of that, she's so humble. Aw, so humble. But quite frankly, we are probably waiting her out. We're probably waiting for her to die. She's 50. Our prince is 19. So maybe when she passes, and her daughter, who's her heir? So her daughter's no slouch either. A bold hero, a 6 courage and only 21. She's going to certainly make one hell of an adversary. So perhaps we are in for the fight of our lives finally in this game. But I'm not convinced that Persia has to be our adversary all the way to the end game. We do have Persia seriously aiding in our scouting game. It looks like their spy master has been busy. And luckily, as their little toady, their little suzerain state, we get access to all of their vision. So if their spy master is scouting things out, we get to scout things out. So Haiti, they got some wonders up here. Looks like their score is made up, of just the 2, Hanging Gardens and Oracle. Based off the color here, looks like, Assyria is somewhere in the mix, so we probably should scout them out at some point. At least know who else we're dealing with. Is there any other threats? We know of the existence of Greece based off of the Jerwin Aqueduct, but that's really it. I think we have 6 players on this map, so it is going to be Greece and Assyria as our only other little battle buddies, but we need to meet them to decide if they are actually going to be a threat. When you go for strategies like this, it is very possible that if you are angling for ambitions, you might find yourself outpaced by the AI. Now, the game will tell you if an AI gets over the 50% points to overall victory. So we can rely on that to a certain extent to let us know if we're really going to be in trouble, but I'd rather know now rather than later. It looks like the AI, at least for the people that we know, are in a really tight race, so we can't go wrong with any one in particular target. But while there are definitely some easier conquests, Egypt or Persia, because they're right here on our doorstep, we might want to, take a look beyond this mountain range if there's anything else that might be worth a long-fed campaign. Or at the very least, start causing some issues up here. So scouting is going to be important, spying is going to be important, but we can take care of all of that in the next year. Ambition-wise, we have 5 Elder Specialists that we need. We have 1 cooking and a duelist. And we're also going to be able to get another one right here. When we create the amphitheater on the next turn, we got delayed because we forgot that this tile belonged to Delver Haven, stupidly. But as soon as we build our amphitheater right here, we will be able to, if, again, our governor, Oligarch Caleb, survives. He's getting pretty old. He's already survived 1 illness. So he's already on borrowed time. But if we are able to get this built, get that unit starting being produced, then utilizing his judge archetype as a governor, we will be able to hurry out his project with cash. And we still have a plethora of cash. We've chewed through it. I think we were at 5,000 at one point. But now down to half of that, it's still not a bad stack. Production on all the resources, with the exception of food, is exceptional. And we certainly have an area to increase our overall food production. Connecting these 2 cities' borders to fill out this breadbasket is certainly going to be advantageous. So it is merely a question of what we have access to. We are going to want to build our officers in here. And right now we don't have access to the production on Holy Horse because our Grand Vizier is unfortunately shoving his grubby little fingers in there. He is severely ill, so hopefully this guy just kicks the bucket any second. And when he does, we'll have access to the production back in Holy Horse, build our specialist here on this food tile to grab these other tiles and keep expanding it out until, they make nice and kiss. And as soon as they do, we will fill that up with farms. We will fill that up with granaries. We have a high enough culture level between the 2 to get 3 granaries out per city, and it is going to be all the food we need for late game cataphracts. But these are a lot of pieces, guys. These are a lot of parts of the puzzle. A lot of things that are slowly coming together. But when scholarship comes online, they will come together a lot faster because our science is about to explode. So all our things on our wish lists, all the things that we want Santa's to bring us on Christmas morning, are going to be unlocked sooner rather than later. Now, what do we want to focus on tech-wise? Well, Portcullis is definitely number 1 on my list. I would love to get access to the Spy Master, and frankly, if any of your kids come out as a schemer from Tactics School, that'll work out well. But the Spy Master is going to be an excellent additional source of both scouting and of science production. Alternatively, we also kind of want to get up here. Land consolidation would not be bad, but it's really forestry that we need to get our hands on. Forestry and composite bow. Forestry because that is going to be able to build our lumber mills around our shrines, our fire shrines, so that way we can get additional training, 1 training per lumber mill that's built around our fire shrines, and that is very strong. We will also be able to build that over here to get a whole bunch of training in both of these cities. I think all of our 4 major military cities are going to have access to it. And that's the power of polytheism, guys, so we're really going to be abusing that in this game. But additionally, after that, we want our ranges. And again, that's for the same reason. We want to boost our training to its highest extent. And once we have all of our training set up, it's time to start churning out units. So we need to make sure our economy is prepared for that. That means these rookie numbers on food and these rookie numbers on iron need to get rectified. Obviously, stone is fine. Stone is not a problem. But we want to make sure that we're filling up all of these hills in here with mines to make sure that we are boosting our economy to handle the military output necessary. We're getting a little gray in the tooth ourselves. We're only 49, but that does not mean we have too much time left. We've made the absolute most out of our Builder Archetype, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good forever. And hopefully, this will be enough here in the wings. One can only hope. But we'll end the year here and see what the next year brings. All right, news arrives from Egypt. The king is dead. Oh boy. All right, well, goodbye, schemer. Hello, builder. All right, so actually me and you can get along. If we end the war between us and Egypt and just let Persia handle it from here, that actually might be pretty good for us. Let them duke it out. Let them slow each other's down. Let's build up a nice relationship with the builder. So if we ever decide to stab Persia in the back, that actually might really work out well. He is 29, so he'll be ruling with our prince for a while, but we'll see how that works. Queen consort, front lines has died. Rest in peace, my beautiful wife. You did give me a child in the end, and we will certainly miss your stats. My lord, those were good. But, we can only do so much. Our general who is superstitious has fallen ill. Well, he's not the best general, but he's one of the few that we have, and he's only 32, so we're hoping to get at least a little bit longer out of him. He's at least providing some experience with his discipline levels, but, he's not the best. Our son is superstitious. Oh, boy. Princess Zaba. Not the best, my friend. Not the best. But perhaps there's hope with the Duchess, our actually legitimate daughter, so maybe we will place her on the throne after all. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see exactly how her tutoring comes out before we decide to switch up our succession order. Last request. And here's our wife asking in her final hour if we want to go ahead and set up her daughter as the heir to the family, switching over to ultimogenitor. Youngest child inherits. Not typically the way I like to style my nation, but and certainly if it's going to cost 200 civics. Does it cost 200 civics? It does not. Or the Duchess becomes disappointed in us. Well, again, one of the effects of being disappointed is sometimes the child rebels. And if the child rebels, it becomes the opposite archetype of you to, further install their hatred. I don't want to be like you, Dad, but not being like me means she comes out a hero. Or not wanting to be a builder means she's going to come out a hero. And a hero would be excellent. A hero is definitely who we'd want in charge. So, yes, I'm going to unfortunately disappoint my wife, forego the 1,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. But before I go ahead and commit to making her the head, I want to make sure her training goes over well. So we are going to let her be disappointed and take it from there. Ooh, this is exactly what we were talking about. Let's take a look. Did they make peace with... No, Persia's still at war with them. I don't mind making peace. Yeah, I have no beef with you, Egypt. In fact, I would love to otherwise utilize my scout elsewhere as opposed to keeping an eye on you. So yes, absolutely, have a truce. We already dragged Persia into the war. That's kind of the whole thing. Hopefully you come out a hero, and if you want to be a hero, you're going to need courage. The Silver Jubilee. Oh, has it really been that long? I've been reigning for 25 years. All right, new ambitions potentially. Field 8 generals. Well, yikes. We do have access to 8 generals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, no, actually we don't. We don't even have access to 8 generals. Oh, yikes. But there is potential here. I mean, we are looking to make our daughter a general. I will survive long enough. Although the matriarch and Masoba here, they might age out. But hopefully more generals come about, or at least more courtiers come about, so this isn't out of the question. To field 8 generals is an 800 training investment, which to complete a ambition it's a cheap date. So I don't hate that. All it takes is for us to find one courtier in the meantime and have 8 units, both of which are probably things that we should be focusing on anyways. The other is to have 2 max level units, 1 melee, 1 ranged. Or maintain 8 governors. Well, we don't have 8 cities, so that's out of the question. So we would need 2 more units, 1 more from the champions, that's very doable, and 1 out of the clerics, which is already being worked on. Yeah, okay. I think we'll be able to pull this one off. As long as a whole bunch of people don't die, I think we'll be okay. So let's go ahead and grab this and try to save up a little bit of training, so that way we'll be able to push out everything that we need. Exploring the wonders of the world. Every leader should know the world's great architectural achievements, and you are eager to set out and explore them. You've heard extraordinary tales of the Oracle and the city of Hattusa. Each day you feel more drawn to The thought of visiting the city, it is your only distraction from the mundanity of palace duties. No, I think a wise man stays at home, my guy. Although we could use the civics, so you becoming miserable kind of does suck. Let us visit this wondrous city of Hattusa. This feels like a bit of an unnecessary risk, but I think this would be even worse to get a -2. Yeah, because not only is it going to be creeping into our orders, this loss of civics is too deep. That's a 27 loss of overall civics. That's a huge chunk out of our overall production, not to mention the speed of which a duelist is able to generate new stuff because I am, in fact, the governor here. And we not only need to install a new governor in Holy Horse, fill out our council seats as we get those techs online, but we also have another law to grab. Not to mention, I wouldn't mind switching off slavery into freedom. So, no, I like my civics. I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Visiting Hattie, you marvel at the engineering feats, including the incomparable Oracle. And your caravan are not the only tourists viewing this architectural marvel. People from all over the world have come to see with their own eyes what they had only heard about in stories. You are inspired to bring such spectacle back home to Aksum. It is time to return home. Engineering is a free law. Okay. I don't hate that. Yeah. Minus 30 gold per year. I can deal with that for minus 25% wonder costs. We we already have our wonder. It'd be great if this came before we built the museum, but I mean, I'm not going to look at a gift horse in the mouth. And with that extra XP, we get to upgrade again, so we get even more civics. Gotta love that. Choose a new governor. Would really love to, but I have other priorities. I am sorry. All right, Cyramp and Delver Haven. What are we going to produce? So in Cyramp, we might actually be best off waiting one turn, getting this ministry, rushing out a master scribe, and then rushing immediately after that a elder scribe that'll be right behind it. That means we'll be getting this ambition online in 3 turns, which is pretty good. And at this point, I think we'd like to get additional civics because of all the things we just talked about. So, yeah, let's go ahead and idle for 1 turn and check back in next turn. Builder-wise in the city, we're going to go ahead and fill our plan, grab the amphitheater, throw 2 workers down on top of this, take advantage of our builder leader while we still have them. In Delver Haven, we have 4 more years after completing that festival to be getting our next citizen. So at that point, we will be grabbing the additional stonecutter specialist. But instead of losing 7 or 11 civics per turn, I say we actually get an additional 5 by spamming out 4 sets of culture missions, or council missions, to idle until we have access to that new citizen, and at that point, we will get the additional stonecutter. To handle this incursion in the north, we are easily able to clean up right there. We can, at this point, go about assigning over on our available generals. It might be good to start doing that, but we don't know what might be coming up in the next couple of turns. That might cost training. Training might be the resource necessary for us to recruit a new general. So we're going to hold off on that for a second. And speaking of potential generals, we could be waiting 8 more years to get one out of the Duchess herself, but we will go ahead and start tutoring her. Who would be the best to do that? For tutoring, we're going to go ahead and allow our mage in-house to go ahead and tutor our daughter. Who knows? Maybe it'll make her a magic practitioner. That could be fun. To make sure that our citadel ends up in the perfect placement, we're going to go ahead and swing up to this hill. And instead of building this range, we are going to build our barracks because it's available to us right now. Then through adjacency, that'll go ahead and make this citadel available to us after that. So go ahead and build our barracks. Get that out in 2 turns with a second worker. And we'll go ahead and finish this barracks right here. And then these guys, I guess, will swing down and start working on the ministry. All of that done and only 1 order left. We are really feeling not having access to serfdom here. Minus 5 orders available to us, but that will come online next turn. But we do want to make sure that we're not neglecting the front lines here. We do need to make sure that we are still building out our stuff. which means both access to anything culture-wise and access to anything military-wise. But culture does come first. We do want to make sure that the culture level that we're producing in here is going to get us up to strong, because again, the plan for this city is to focus on our melee, Dempt warriors, or Shotelai. Only culture building available to us is going to be an additional shrine, so we're going to go ahead and grab one of those. But we are not going to waste our training by buying any more orders. So it's just going to have to wait for one more turn. And you're there. One oligarch is dead. A general has died. That's not the right way we want to see our general numbers going. The Grand Vizier has died. Yes, wonderful. We can finally take back the production of both of those cities without having to install a governor in there. And a new oligarch has come in, and they love us. We are both builders, so they have gone from cautious to pleased. Love to see it. An uneasy quiet. The hand of the Queen of Persia is dead. The court braces for word from Persia, an accusation, a new appointment, but no. Only routine communications about logistics and trade agreements, now handled by Arapsi's special ambassador's former assistants. Perhaps the Persians are done interfering in the affairs of Aksum? Perhaps. But in the meantime, it's going to stress us out, so that kind of sucks. But it's an easy enough thing to rectify. We can spend a little bit of cash and run a mission to indulge in revelry, shake that off in 1 year, hopefully, without too much of a diabolical event behind it. Ah, such disrespect for my daughter, but at least you're getting XP, so you're doing what I want you to do. Where old bones lie. The construction of works in a duelist, accidentally strayed into a holy ground, and the matriarch is all pissed off about it. Well, we can either pillage the barracks, lose civics, no thank you, to make Judaism happy, or the matriarch becomes disappointed with the king. But we get a whole bunch of growth in all of our champion cities. Only one of our families is Jewish. If this was the patriarch of the paganism religion, I might feel differently about it. But I feel like it's easy enough to invest in just 1 turn of fixing barracks. So let's just waste the stone. That sounds the best plan possible. It is broken. But you are the builder from the family, so I'm going to bring you here. So that way you can start this building at a cheaper cost. And you, because you're a builder from outside the family, I will use you to fix the barracks. There we go. Now maybe all 3 of you can actually work on the Citadel next turn. That might actually be the best course of action. Let you slowly pick away at the ministry. And once we have all the buildings built in here, I think all 4 of these workers are going to swing out to Holy Horse to get that online. They'll have to stick around to make sure that they're building all the science buildings in here, or at least the 2 science buildings that we have available, so that way we get access to the maximum amount of science that they will increase here in a duelist. But after that, yes, over to Holy Horse to really make sure that we're getting everything online in here as well. This city is somewhat lagging behind. Unfortunately, none of our governors are available to be able to rush out this with the exception of using civics, and we are not using our civics because we want to pass our laws. Serfdom, yes please, 5 extra orders a turn. Thank God. Again, we don't want our front lines to fall behind, so we're going to go ahead and grab this last shrine. That's an extra 2 culture a turn, and that'll be out in 2 turns. In Cyramp, I think I want them to swing up here to get this done in 1 more turn. And production-wise, we're going to go ahead and grab that scribe. We are then going to rush that scribe with our lovely judge. And next turn, we'll be able to upgrade that and pinch off our ambition. Yikes, we lost 2 potential governor options, so we need 2 additional ones. So even the daughter will not be enough. So we're going to have to find somebody. Hopefully a courtier shows up in some fashion. Doesn't have to be a soldier. It can be any courtier can be assigned. In fact, a courtier would be the ideal situation because we're going to need at least 2 units, because no one's going to be able to be outside of courtiers. No one's going to be able to be assigned to these patron units for a governorship because they are of the wrong family. And you're there. No longer stressed. It looks like there was no event. So far, so good. Oligarch is converted to Judaism. Sounds fine. My son is a hopeless romantic. Oh, good. Well, at least that's some stats. We'll take some defense on a, I guess, a crippled general. But he's shaping up. He's shaping up. He's an 8 out of 10 now. So we'll take that. We'll take that. Sowing Discord. Interesting. Well, they're on the opposite side of us from Persia, so we can't expect Big Daddy Persia to help us out of this one. It would give us a free spearman, though, which, frankly, I don't hate. And I'm not afraid of Hattie, really. They are much stronger in Erudite, but we are behind a massive shield wall, so I don't think they're going to be able to get to us that easily. We can merely just fund the rebels, throw a little bit of cash their way, and cause some mayhem over there. Or we can betray the rebels, lose a little bit of legitimacy, and get the king conspiring with us. That actually might be the best. Yeah, if we can get the king on really good terms with us, then we might be able to utilize that to our benefit. Meaning that maybe we're able to turn him against Assyria if we scout them out. Yeah, that has a nice ring to it. We'll go ahead and do that. So let's betray the rebels. Make the king conspiring with us, get our relationship at least out of the negative, and maybe we can make something work. We'll see. Freedom movement. Enlightened leaders of the front lines are experiencing a significant shift in their cultural views. After several years of intense debate, they propose the abolishment of natural slavery. Well, you're not the only ones who feel that way. Or actually, I suppose it is your family that does feel that way. They wish to start in front lines and make an example for all of Aksum. Interesting. So we get a little bit of training. We like training, and we deal with a rebel, but we get extra gold per turn. Doesn't suck. We get a whole bunch of civics, which I actually love, so I think I will do that. Or we get the free law of freedom, which makes them happy and pisses off everybody else. Does everybody else love slavery? No, only the clerics love slavery. But I guess just the change of things would piss them off. It does fade after 20 years, so it's not a huge impediment, and we would still be in the positives with them by a nice degree. All of these are pretty good options. But frankly, we plan on switching out of slavery anyways over to freedom, and this lets us do it without civics, so I will take that. Yeah, that's easy enough, and this upset opinion from the other families will fade after 20 years. In fact, it'll fade each year. So you just divide the total number of opinion loss divided by the number of years, and they'll give you how much you lose per year. So it'll be 40 year 1, negative 38, 36 year after year. So it's really not that hard of a penalty. Now, let's grab freedom. Well, first things first, we want to make sure up in our capital we are producing our citadel. It's going to take 5 turns, 3 turns, 2 turns. That sounds good. In SciRamp, we are going to go ahead and upgrade the Master Specialist, Master Scribe that we just made into an Elder Scribe. Rush that out utilizing our Governor. And that is going to give us a whole bunch of, well, even happiness to make up for the discontent that we just generated by rushing a unit, but also really help out our Science and Civics game. We have 4 turns until Scholarship is up, and that is all these workers can really build inside of SciRamp. So is there anything else we want to get online? Well, we took all these workers outside of Delverhaven, so it would be nice to at least get back to get some more mines up. Get working towards that endgame good stuff that we were hoping for. And make as much of a dent in that as we possibly can. Yes, we'll get 1 mine out in 1 turn, 1 mine out in 2 turns. We have a good chance of terraforming a lot of this space well before Scholarship is done, so I think that's a nice little strategy of ours. No more workers available. I'm fine with the internal politics and letting that idle for the time being. We could get an ambassador out, but I'm not really feeling the love from any of our options. They're all just kind of mediocre. The best one we got is Ismeni, and she's severely ill, so probably not the best bet. We could make the Oligarch a ambassador because she is going to not only boost foreign opinion, but also boost foreign opinion through their religion opinion. So that's actually a plus 50 to anybody with a state religion. And it's a plus 30 to all internal opinion. So keep that in mind, guys. religion opinion on your ambassador is almost better mid to late game than foreign opinion is. So yeah, let's go ahead and make the oligarch happy. It's only going to put the family further in our pocket, not that we need it, but it's actually going to help us out with all of our other families after that detriment that we just incurred. 3 orders left. I would like to meet the other nations, so let's go ahead and walk up 2, heal 1, and send the scout out on a long journey. We know that Assyria is right here, so we're going to try to skirt around this mountain pass. I'm assuming there might be one here. And get into Assyria. And then we might have to backtrack and go through some mountains to get over to Greece, but we'll find that out next year. All right, tutor mission has led to an event. Okay. What is our witch up to? Known as the Keystone. Yay, that's nice. Extra 4 legitimacy certainly does not hurt. And we completed our ambition. Right on time. Looking good. The Lion. In a stroke of good luck, Riopis has come into possession of a lion named Oliver. Oh, its name being Oliver really makes all the difference. A rare exotic creature from the south. She wishes to use the beast in one of Adhana's science lessons, but the girl is reluctant. All it took was one look at the cat's enormous teeth. Shall we insist on the first-hand experience? She can become smart but timid. That's good for a schemer. That's bad for a general. And we need a general more than a schemer. Or she becomes foolish. Ah, God. Neither are great. And see, this is exactly what we're talking about as to maybe wait until we decide to make her the heir or not. I'm not a fan of either of these options. But I'm going to go and lean into making her a general despite her being foolish. Hopefully there's not too many foolish general events, but that seems like there might be later on down the road. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what happens. Hopefully the lion doesn't eat my daughter. Keepsake. Yep. She would have made a fun ambassador, but she died. Oh, and she was in love with me. Aw. Well. Too bad that never got fulfilled. I lose a little bit of civics and I gave more gold. Nope, I got plenty of gold and, well, actually I got plenty of civics. That went from being a problem to not a problem at all. We might want to look at assigning some governors, see what we got going on that we can boost numbers with. Or I get a keepsake and I become mourning. I'm a little bit too old for me to be worrying about getting extra XP right now at this moment. And I'm not devout. So, yes, I think we can actually shave off a little bit of our civics production. We get 240 a turn. We got 400 in the bank. Yeah, why not? Tinderbox. All right, so we might see a forest fire down here in Cyramp, and there is quite a bit of forest. Interesting, interesting. We're going to go ahead and pay that off. It's not much for us, and we can certainly afford it, so I don't see why not. Under her spell, my prince has fallen in love with a loyal judge. Well, we don't hate a loyal judge. We love a loyal judge. Frankly, let's get that loyal judge over into Holy Horse. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. That sounds great. The oligarch becomes disappointed. That's okay. We can deal with the disappointed oligarch. She's otherwise happy with us. Yeah, let's do that. You got great stats. Get in the family. In all things, there is no such thing as magic, or at least no one such thing as magic. The people of Aksum use small superstitions every day as they go about their lives, but the same people who use these services are the first to turn against the person they don't understand. Oligarch Caleb the Minister has been leading the charge against practitioners like Europis the Younger, claiming that the idea of magic wields far too much power amongst the masses. Speak out against the moral corruption of studying the occult lore? It brings the oligarch close to me, but he's 72 years old. He has done his duty. He rushed out all of the specialists that we needed him to. And frankly, we can retire the old man. I don't really think we need to worry about his opinion of us. So he can be disappointed. I see no reason to become intolerant, to become no longer gracious, and to lose opinion with the Queen of Persia, the King of Haiti, and Erebus herself. So that's a no across the board. But we do get to give him a promotion. So while you're still with us, go ahead and grab us 6 additional science a year. You have been a wonderful man of service, but I think your twilight has come, my friend. We got 5 lazy workers. Let's go ahead and grab yet another civics building. We'll come over here, build the theater, get that out in 3 turns. Front lines is really starting to shape up, like the look of that. Production and Sci-Ramp. What are we looking to build? Do we need a disciple? We have spread our religion everywhere, but frankly, I wouldn't hate a disciple. Yeah. Grab a disciple, it'll take 4 years, and then we will be able to upgrade our religion once again. Yeah, get it to a tier 2 theology. We could either pick up dualism or Gnosticism. Both would be very good, but I think Gnosticism would be better because we are still building a lot of urban specialists. And we plan on building even more with officers, so certainly something we plan on looking into. In Delver Haven, we're going to keep on building out our mines, use up all the rest of our orders in that regard. How are we looking on the available generals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 is not enough. We need 3 somehow. Was really hoping that either of these families would at least produce a little bit more than what we've got, but we don't have a very wide-spanning nation. So when you only have a few cities, the amount of people that get produced is less. So it's definitely something to consider. Actually, we're going to take back all of this. We are in a bit of a dire situation. We need to be able to find more generals. So I'm going to go general shopping. So we're in a dire need for generals. Now, we might be able to use our tech to be able to find courtiers, or events will give us courtiers, but we can't just sit around and wait. What I would like to do is both marry off ourselves as well as our daughter to hopefully find somebody young enough and also able to be a general. I might be too old, frankly, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. Let's go ahead and make a marriage pact with the Numidians. Oh, looks like we can't. Oh, because we're at war. Well, I guess Haiti just becomes the option then. I mean, if we can get somebody out of them, it'll bring us a little bit closer. So we'll go a foreign marriage over to Hattie and hope for a general from you. We got to keep on training up our Duchess to make sure that she doesn't fall behind. And once that is done, hopefully, we will be able to marry her off to another nation, or marry somebody in from another nation, and they'll be a general. Just whatever shopping opportunities we can, we kind of got to go for. End the year there. All right. A new leader of the Numidians. And Princess Zaba have given birth to a son. Okay, good. Oh, don't we have a bastard that we could have legitimized? Oh, that's actually maybe a missed opportunity. We could have legitimized the bastard, thrown him into tactics school. I guess suppose not tactics school because the Duchess is there. Maybe the kid's only 9 years old. We'll see. We have to check into that. Let's actually do that in a second. Ooh, and we fished our wish. So we do get somebody brought into here. So who makes the better general? We have a fierce zealot, but she's bitter. Or we have an educated drunk hero. They're both young, thank God. So we will certainly grab Kali the drunk, I think. Yeah, we don't... Or actually... kind of tough. I think we're aiming for her to be a hero, either through the rebellious child or her tactics school training. So getting more heroes into the mix wouldn't be the worst, just to make sure the cohesion amongst the generals stays copacetic, in case we do make her the heir. Yeah, and none of them have high discipline, so we're not going to be getting any training out of them if they just remain idle. So let's go ahead and grab the hero. Welcome to the family. All right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 available generals. We need 2 more. Our daughter will be 1, and when she marries off, hopefully we will get yet another. So that will solve our problem in T-minus 4 years. Okay. Yeah. 6 ambitions done by year 67 is a pretty good pace, so I am not upset about that. Shaken confidence. In a duelist, the ground shakes, belongings is scattered, so we can expect another earthquake to potentially come on through. We don't need any more civics, and I don't want to lose any stats, so let's go ahead and just use our immense amount of stone production to be able to pay this off. Sharing knowledge. The Persians want to trade a little bit of tech. We get steel, and they get navigation. Or I get one more set of discipline, which certainly does not suck. Well, navigation's a really good tech. I mean, that's 5 orders if they utilize the proper law. And for us, steel, I believe, is on the way to barding. So that is a 200. Yeah, so we give away a 200 tech and we get a 200 tech. Not to mention that gives us a training boost, a potential free unit using our science. Yeah, that's not a bad deal. Let's go ahead and grab the free tech. Draw of the Forbidden Ways. Ooh, cool. Academy tutors wordly report that the Duchess at Hana has been spending time with the eccentric Kohen of the Jewish studies. This holy man has been teaching at Hana the esoteric, unorthodox texts, described rituals and practices banned by Jewish leaders. Ooh. Well, it wasn't by Europis, but it was by another hand, and that makes her a magic practitioner. I don't hate that. I think that's kind of fun. Yeah. I mean, I'm not devout anyways, so let's go. I won't be able to stop her. So yes, welcome my magic daughter. Leading the flock. The Kohaim from Holy Horse comes to you before the court. He says that the city is in need of the guidance of the leader who will support the efforts of the Jewish faith, and boldly adds that the oligarch of the clerics already has the backing of Jewish leaders. What are you trying to do? She will lead you well. Okay, and this makes her, this builder, the head or the governor of that city. I don't hate that. Makes the Jewish people happy, makes her happy. No problem there. Or she becomes bitter and I deny her and I get, what, just 2 legitimacy? No. Let's go ahead and grab the free governor. That sounds great. All right, so everyone's waiting around for 2 turns to ramp and put out all of our science buildings. I guess that means we can focus on our scouting for at least a little bit. Get you moved at least a little bit forward. Internal politics looks good. External politics looks fine. Looks like the war between Persia and Egypt is still going on. Egypt's a little bit upset with me, but Persia's still very happy. And they're not really making any ground. They're not bringing enough units out to really be able to handle this. The wide open fields is certainly good for Persia's cavalry, of which they have a good chunk. But their leader isn't even here. Where is their leader? Strapped weirdly to a spearman? That seems wrong. But I guess they were fending off some invasions from the south. In Dirt Haven, we finally have our next specialist, so we're going to go ahead and grab, let's see, you will produce 6.7 stone, you will produce 5.7 stone, so for a great 1 extra stone, we are going to build this particular specialist to grab this last little quarry spot, because it's frankly worth a hell of a lot of stone. On the front lines, we can tell that it's going to take an additional 25 years for us to be able to get this city up to strong level of culture, which is all we need it for. That's all we need it for. But I think it's probably best if we focus on getting a little bit extra culture in this city where we can. So we're going to grab an extra 2 culture out of here by building an apprentice acolyte. And we're going to assign this diplomat to the city to get that out a hell of a lot faster. 3 turns is a lot more palatable than 6. All of our 5 cities are governored up. Are there any additional laws we want to switch over? Well, even though it makes everybody happy, it makes Zoro happy, it makes Judaism happy, it makes the clerics happy, polytheism is no longer useful to us. It is only dragging us down in the sense that it's not giving us 5 orders by going monotheism. So I think we're going to switch over and grab monotheism instead and grab those extra 5 orders. We have a nice little glut of civics here with a lot more production coming on through. We could use that to start rushing things out, like getting this spearmint out one turn faster, which I think we will. Shave off that so that we can actually start building other things inside of the city, like the specialists here to extend the bread basket. I don't think we need this other disciple now at this point, so we're going to go ahead and let them go. Although it wouldn't be the worst to build up our monasteries in our cities, or at least in Frontline, to get its culture game going. Certainly something to consider. But I'm now starting to look at if there's any laws we want to change, namely monotheism and divine rule. Eventually, I want to make sure that we're going into a war game. So if we're going to be switching over to monotheism, that's going to give us an additional 5 orders. Polytheism is really only here to make sure we're able to build all the shrines in every city. But if we check out divine rule, it gives us an extra order per pagan religion in each of the cities. So that is only giving us 4, where it should be giving us 5 because we have 5 cities. That is because we haven't built our last shrine inside of Delverhaven. In fact, we haven't built any shrines in Delverhaven. So is there any shrines we actually want to build? We don't really need the city for a lot, as previously stated. This shrine's not going to do anything, although it does make adjacent mines a little bit better. So actually, there might be some use case for that. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 mines here, which would boost the production of, and this can't otherwise be a mill later on in the game because it's not on a river and it's not on a hill. So actually, yeah, for the production of this particular city, I think it's best that we actually build the shrine here. It's not a lot, but it doesn't hurt. With our last 3 orders, we might as well start moving people into position to build out our libraries. This is where it's going to be, so this is where they should go. End the year there. Princess Zaba has made another daughter. Love to see it. Oligarch fears he does not have much time left. Oh, well, you are at the end of your life, severely ill, my friend. Well done, Caleb. You were truly, truly excellent for the nation. 1 more year in scholarship. What is there to do? In a duelist, I would like to start building my apprentice officers where I can. We can turn them out in 1 year. Oh my god. Well, we got 3 citizens, so I'm just going to go ahead and auto queue the 2 apprentice officers. Just get the apprentice level down first and foremost. I think it's a good investment. And we can start pumping out Chotelai pretty soon. In fact, after these 2, I think I will. So I'll just go ahead and get all of that queued up right now and locked in. We are still trying to meet the other nations, so we're going to keep scouting with our unit. Looks like there is a nice little mountain pass here. And there's Assyria. Nice. All right, get a little bit of food, lose legitimacy, no thanks. Gain legitimacy. Commit war. Well, they are much stronger in erudite, but they are far away, beyond a mountain pass, beyond a desert. So, am I afraid? Not really. What I'm mostly afraid of is I'm not going to be able to worm my way through their borders and get up to meet Greece. We might have to instead swing around through here and go up this way. I think that's the smarter path. So we do have to bring it back. Let's see. Haiti is upset with Assyria, so they might end up at war. So if they ever end up at war, we could actually really take advantage of that opinion boost that we'll get from them. So yeah. Let's go ahead and declare war on Assyria. Screw them. We're not going up that way anyways. And that drags Persia into yet another war. That's so funny. You're welcome, Persia. Isn't it so great to be my best friend? 1 more year on scholarship. Still got to wait that out. That's too bad. But here we are. How are we doing on everything? Duchess is still being trained. We got 2 kids locked and loaded coming on the way through. And we still only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 available generals, which is too bad. So we still have to shop for more. The game plan is still to get our daughter as a general, marry her off to another family to get another general, probably to someone from Haiti to further bring our families together. But we are still waiting how many turns for that? Yeah, another 3. So we still have one more tutor mission to rock through on you. Making sure we have enough units. We have the 1 unit ready for the matriarch. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units available for our champions. I can be assigned to one of the patrons because I'm the leader. Aeropis can be assigned to one of the patrons because she is a courtier. Hopefully nobody ages out in the time it takes for us to get our daughter and her husband, but the matriarch might. She's actually getting pretty old. So that's too bad. We'll see. 1 more year in here to be able to do scholarship. So let's go ahead and get this last mine out of the way. That'll be 2 more mines before these guys will beeline it back down here to go ahead and build out the science. So at the very least, we'll have we'll have enough orders to swing them down there. Let's make sure that we have all the orders to bring these guys into the same position. All right. All right, that's going to take 1 turn for these 4 to be able to move on that spot. We have spread our religion into here. I don't need any other shrines in Delverhaven. Again, we don't really care about its culture or about its anything but its rural production. So I think it's finally time to switch over to monotheism and divine rule. Actually, maybe not divine rule yet because we're still getting 80, yeah, which is the majority of our civics rate. But getting another 5 orders per turn certainly won't hurt. And when we ever want to flip that switch, we can get an additional 5 orders per turn from switching over to divine rule. No matter the law switches, our internal politics is still looking pretty good. And we got 15 orders left, so we might as well be a little bit more efficient with the placement of our units. I'm going to swing this Dempta warrior up onto this barracks. I'm going to rotate this guy here, force march him onto this barracks because they're both melee, so they can sit on the melee spots. Meanwhile, our slingers can come and sit over on these shrine spots because they can get trained there. I'll be rotating this guy over here so he can sit on this shrine. And this guy is already veteran enough, so I'm not worried about getting him anywhere just yet. He can stay right where he's at. Of our available generals, we have 1, 2 that are actually able to provide some level of discipline. So on this unit, we're going to go ahead and add the matriarch at an additional 6 XP per turn. And on this unit, we are going to add our Princess Zaba for an extra 10 XP a turn. And end the turn there. No, leave me alone, Assyria. Leave my scout. All right, scholarship is finally up. Oligarch has died in office. Rest in peace, Caleb, you absolute unit. Aeropis has tutored the Duchess, improving her courage. Very good. The Patriarch is deceitful. Who cares? He is influenced by us, however. Very good. Severely ill. Oh no, our Delver. Oh, she's been great for us too. Wow, it's going to be a changing of the guard. Hopefully we have another. Oh, and another governor is severely ill. Yeah, but you're new. I haven't got attached to you yet. Yeah, I just need you to stick around for at least a little bit longer so we can get some of those out. Some of those specialists out over in front lines. We have a scholar and head of the oligarch family. From pleased to friendly. Love to see it. And first contact with the Greeks. Oh, we didn't have to come and find them. They found us. They've encountered a people from the realm of Greece. They are led by King Aderaz, the ambitious, known as a judge. All right. You're a pretty damn good leader, my guy. I will give you that. Inspiring, educated. If you weren't impulsive, you'd be perfect. We can maintain a truce. We can get even more with a little bit of gold expenditure. I don't hate that. Or we can just go to war, but that's going to give us nothing outside of dragging Persia into yet another war. But we don't really know what's up here. We haven't really scouted this out. So they are more likely to actually pour down into us than go through this one narrow mountain pass to invade into Persia. They are much stronger in erudite. Yeah, join the team. Everybody is. But, yeah, I don't think there's a reason to drag Persia into yet another war, although it would be hilarious. Yeah, no reason to get them on our side. We don't know that this is a connecting factor, although I don't see any mountains. So I think the Greeks would be able to come over. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's just keep inconveniencing Persia. The more we stress out Persia, the more units they're going to build, which means the less other stuff they're going to build. And if they get stuck with having a whole bunch of, like, spearmans and whatnot, then that's not level 8 units that they're going to be able to generate. So if we do decide to go against them, that actually only benefits us. So let's keep stressing out Persia and declare war on Greece. Well, actually, I don't think this will drag Persia into war. We'll see. No, it does not drag Persia into war with them. So that loses the only benefit there. So yeah, let's just maintain truce. Next things up. What do I want more of? Well, we can't go for husbandry, so we can't go for this line. I think the next thing I really am interested in is forestry. So I'll grab Polis really quick. That'll actually help out our gold supply. Not that we really need help, but when we die, we are 56 now. That is going to be a loss of nearly 500 gold, which will put us into a negative. So we actually do need to be concerning ourselves a little bit with our economy, and Hamlets will certainly rectify that situation. Soul and body. All right, a rising star. I don't think I've seen you before. You're a new portrait to me. As debate and writing blossom throughout Aksum, one man, Avicenna, is already being named the scholar of the age. You have heard Avicenna's possess a particular fascination with medicine and anatomy. Okay. But when you finally meet, he speaks most of the soul rather than of the body. Imagine a man floating in air in such a way that he feels no sensation of pressure or moving air and sees or hears nothing at all. Such a man could hardly confirm the existence of his physical body, there being no sensations to suggest it, but his soul. That he could hardly doubt. What else is thinking the very question? That's an interesting point. So we can make him influenced by us, or just grab XP. Not worried about XP. I am curious about you. So let's go ahead and stay on your side and see if we can get any positive events out of this heavy thinker. Death of a governor. Choose a new governor. Don't mind if I do. Plenty of civics to play around with. Ooh. Avicenna. A lot of interesting stuff there. Much to consider. So we do have a couple of options to put in with you. You are inspiring. So stuffing you in here instead could actually really help, because that's 8 culture per turn, which is a solid chunk. It's a 33% increase. So in other words, shaving off 6.3 turns. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put you in here. Let's go ahead and rush this out, get this 2 turns earlier, and really get this city out to strong level of culture sooner rather than later. I don't think we need to invest any more culture after this apprentice acolyte in front lines. I think Avicenna will be more than enough to push us over the edge there, so I think that's a very good use of his time. And Cyramp, no one's really jumping out at me. I need Eriopis to tutor the daughter once more, so she is not an option, even though she would be a good one. So we focus on this guy. 9? Yeah. The Eloquent Builder? Sounds good. Let's throw you in there. We finally have access to scholarship, so let's get down scholarship. First thing up, we need our libraries. That's going to be 4 turns. 2. 1 turn. There we go. All right, in Cyramp, we also want to be getting our library up, and these guys can just make it to the spot. That's pretty lucky. Come over here, get it started. That's 4 turns, 2 turns, still 2 turns. A little gross, but I am going to force march you on to get that out in 1 turn. I'd like these guys to start working on their barracks. But that's going to have to wait a turn, it seems. So I'm just going to chop a little bit of scruff, and we will wait until next turn. End the year there. Oop, forgot about our scout. Got to move them first. Don't take our scout, Assyria. Discovered Polis, and the governor has died in office. And we will now not look at that. Don't look at that. We're going to go ahead and run our scout right here. So, where to send our scout? Well, we want our scout to eventually get into places where if they were to establish a agent network inside a foreign city utilizing our spy master, that they'll actually be able to steal some decent tech. So, which is the best target to hit? Haiti has learned, not erudite. Persia has learned, not erudite. So neither of them have enough science that I'm really concerned with, if they're barely able to beat my 100. That leaves Egypt, Greece, and Assyria. If we take a look at their points, we can see that Egypt has 2 strong cities, Greece has 2 strong cities, Assyria only has 1 strong city. So Assyria is not really the target. Not only are they the lowest in score, but they only have 1 strong city that's going to be able to potentially generate enough science to make it worth it. So I'd rather focus on either Egypt or Greece. Considering that Egypt is really close to our borders, we can always send another scout that we make out to Egypt. So I'd rather start the long trek out to Greece. So let's go ahead and swing them back here. We're going to come back through our nation, up this way, and see if we can get over to the strong cities of Greece. It might be a little tough, but we will do our best. I think we have access to exploration. We do. So we're actually able to get over to the sea. That might be the fastest way for us to make our way up their border and into their nation. So we're going to go ahead and explore that option. Tech-wise, we are going to go ahead and pick up forestry, get these lumber mills down next turn, or as soon as we're done building out our academies, and utilize those to be able to build our science even further. Speaking of which, come over here, 1 academy. In 1 turn. That is so good. We are really abusing this builder, man. We are going to purchase the stone necessary, but we are running low. We are certainly eking out all of the juice out of our economy. But I care not, because we've been planning for this for a long time, and if you don't spend it now, well, you can't take it with you. And we're getting up there in age, so we need to be making sure we're taking advantage of this builder while we can. In fact, once we have this down, we'll probably be swinging these guys out to Holy Horse to try to get this city up online. Back to events, trade mission. I guess I'll take a little bit boosted in science. An extra 2 isn't great. Actually, you know what? I'll rather take the training. I think the training will be nice. It'd be nice to have a stockpile, and we do plan on spending a whole bunch of training. 1 more year until the Duchess can be both assigned as a general and sent out to get a marriage, so hopefully we're able to finish this ambition soon. No new generals have magically appeared. We still only have access to 6. A flirtation. We certainly don't do anything to piss off the queen. We need her. And I see no reason to piss off Egypt. I become debauched, but the queen likes me a little bit more. I enjoyed the sultry display. Yeah, you know what? I'm not afraid of Egypt. Yeah, I'm not afraid of Egypt. Let's go ahead and piss them off just a little bit. Eager for combat, officers at the Academy of Tactics report that Adhana seems restless. Unhappy with lessons and theoretical maneuvers, one day you receive a message from her, if not a request so much as an order. Send me to be with my fellow troops. It's where I belong. Ooh, what a boon. What a boon. She wants to be educated, finish your studies, and then we'll talk. I force her to do it, and it makes her no longer foolish, and instead makes her educated. That's a huge pickup. I like that option a lot. We could also make her strict, which would make her a good governor. Wow, all of these are going to be making her... I'm liking you a little bit more for lead, actually. I'm liking you a little bit more for leadership. Or she owes me a favor and she becomes a soldier, but she's no longer a tactics student. Nope, that's certainly not it. Not half as good as strict, and educated is too good. Get rid of foolish, get an extra 2 wisdom. Yeah, too good to pass up. Easy pickup. Keep the queen a little bit happy. She becomes eloquent. She's a general. We don't need you to be eloquent. Yeah, the economy's already getting a little bit tight, my love. So you can just be a little bit more upset with me for all I care. I mean, you're literally just here to complete an ambition of mine. So I'm sorry, there's not more to your role in the nation, but hopefully you'll be happy with it. Choose a new governor. Delverhaven has died. Okay. Well, we don't have access to any more Delvers, which is too bad because they were really helping out with the economy. And none of these are really lighting the world on fire. I guess this cultivator wouldn't be bad, but I don't need you in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass on having a governor in there at all. For lazy workers, you can definitely build the barracks. Get that out in 2 turns for me, thank you. And I'm going to wait a turn and start building the hamlets in here. I think it's time. We have access to them. It's time to start getting them down. All right. Well, we would like to upgrade the religion. So we'll have access to do that next turn. So you just hang out 1 turn. Last lazy worker. Let's get you over into Cyramp. We want to make sure that we're boosting up the culture here because we want to get to legendary eventually. And if you are placed in the right spot, we can sell a little bit of iron and start building our hamlets. It's going to be 20 gold per turn because, again, when our king dies, so does our economy. So we need to make sure that we're starting to make a contingency plan there, even if it's very slow going. In Cyramp, we got 5 years until we get our next citizen. But there's not really anything in here I want to build. I guess we can spend 2 turns on a treasury, again focusing on getting our economy up, and that's not going to drain our civics enough to keep us from being able to pass that next theology next year, so that seems like a good use of time. And in front lines, the same thing. We can spend a little bit more money on something with civics, and I think treasury is it. Eventually, we might go for professional army, so getting an extra 2 training out of that from having access to a treasury is not the worst case, so yeah. 4 years on treasury. With the last of our orders, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're moving all of our available units onto the available training spots. Doesn't hurt. Get a little extra training per turn. And next year, we'll have access to our daughters. So hopefully we'll be able to get somebody for a marriage and finally finish this ambition. Families converted to Judaism. They went from friendly down to pleased. We can live with that. The prince is crippled, has begun to feel ill. Well, we might not have to worry about the succession plan much anyways. Okay. A zealot or a schemer? Well, as much as a schemer would be really good for eventually getting up to spy master, we have an ambition to complete. So a zealot is very, very good. And coming out, a magic practitioner who's educated as a zealot is a very interesting person. I like this a lot. War goals. Nope. We're going to pass on all of that. Yep, I kind of did that war more as a hee-hee than a, anything else. So everybody cool your jets. In fact, can we make peace? Ooh, it's going to take 7 more years. Sorry, Assyria. I hope you forgive me, pal. All right, we don't want to lose sight of what we need to do, so we're going to foreign marriage our way into Haiti. We're going to hope to shop for yet another warrior. Yeah, so hopefully that produces another warrior, but I guess we will have to see. If we have to deny the potential option, at least it only pisses off these guys, who we can set up choke points against. So again, this is a nice, cozy situation, so I'm okay with maybe having a political faux pas with Haiti, so yeah, not too worried about that. In Delverhaven, I guess we'll also go for a treasury. Oh, but that marriage did set us back. The 100 civics necessary means that we don't get to upgrade our religion, which is too bad. But, it is what it is. I made a big goof here. I switched over to monotheism without getting my final shrine here. That is annoying. Luckily, we have plenty of civics to make up for that mistake. So we'll eventually be able to switch back over to polytheism, get the shrine, and then back over to monotheism for the orders. But that is Certainly a goof up. We should have gotten it right down here, the fire shrine, to surround it with lumber mills, which is annoying. But we're not going to undo anything or go back. That is simply, we're simply going to have to deal with the punishment of. Nothing to build out in Cyramp or Delver Haven outside of more mines. It's really just focusing on getting these workers out this way. We are going to lead with the actual cleric worker and start focusing on getting this city up and going. It's already strong. It doesn't have to get to legendary. I would much rather get its military buildings online. So we are going to run out that way to do it. And just get everybody over as far as we can. Get the military buildings up and going. Get the military production up and going in these two cities. And then we'll focus on the breadbasket. Grab our scout, work them back around, go ahead and grab a quick heal. Again, I think we are going to at least see what's up here, see if that Numidian camp even still exists. And if it does, well, then we will know that and then keep progressing on and trying to find a way into Alexandria. Let's go ahead and swing these additional patrons up here so we can get our hamlets out a little bit faster. In fact, I am going to buy the extra order necessary just to get this guy in here. If we can start spamming out all these hamlets, that certainly will be advantageous for us, and we'll end the year there. All right, discover the forestry, improved her discipline, very nice. My wife is converted, and the ambassador is ill. Okay. Marriage offer. Well, that sucks. We're going to have to pass on both these options because neither one is a potential governor or a potential general. So do I care about either of these guys? Not really. They both kind of suck. Yeah, so pass at this time. Sorry, that marriage isn't going to work out. Instead, we're going to grab the court scholar. We'll be able to complete the ambition hopefully in 3 years. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 available. Ah, damn. We keep losing out on generals. But we will go ahead and try again and remarry our daughter, this time out to Persia. See if we can't get at least a warrior from somebody. But we're going to end it there, guys. I mean, we're kind of locked in on the strategy. We still need access to 2 more generals. Hopefully the marriage will get us 1. The court scholar will be our 2nd. But I have a feeling someone is going to age out at some point. Oh, yep. I think that was the matriarch. They are officially 51 years old. So they are not able to be a general. So that's too bad. But, things happen. We will see how the rest of the game plays out. And in the meantime, happy conquering.